and a hearty hiya hiya. Why do I use that greeting? The world is upside down. And of course, I cut myself shaving. I was shaving my legs, trying to do my impression of RuPaul. No, I got a gash, and I fell trying to serve the public, like Biden. You're not going to make anybody happy, no matter who the president is. I think, or the governors. They're all a little crazy. We got a new governor in New York now, who is from Buffalo, where I'm from. Why can't she be from normal parents? And this particular governor, she has decided, since she is from Buffalo, that they're going to have women are now allowed to remove their babushkas. So it's good, that you have a woman in office now, telling us how to do things. That'll be the day in Kabul, won't it? That'll be a lot of Kabul. Can you imagine a woman running that country? Wow. Now that would be an achievement, see? And maybe if these women could get their weapons together, we left some behind. Actually, the people who would buy those weapons are the Trump supporters. They should go over there and be our army to rescue everybody who can't get out of the country. Send those guys over. They did a good job on January 6th. Hey, get them over there. Organize that team. It's an upside down world, like I said, or the favorite show that I had years ago, Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. And I think somebody's got to be the catalyst, and that's my job. I'm the catalyst with the bandage. Yeah, a lot of people are offering live aid. They're offering some sort of a Army and Navy aid. They've got homeless aid. I've got Band-Aid. That's what I got. What is Band-Aid? That's when somebody plays, like the Everly Brothers. Weren't they cute? They were so pretty. When I was I looked at them. They were like girls. I said to Phil Everly when I met him, I said, "Got any sisters?" It was just one of those things. Hey, with Afghanistan, let me tell you the new language that we're going to speak over here now that they're coming here. We got to bring a lot of them here because they were helping America, and we are the land of the free and liberty, and they did help us during this crisis for 20 years. So we're taking them here into our country, and we're going to have a new language now. We had Ebonics. Was that the one that was going to be in the black community? Remember that? Was it Ebonics? I forgot the name of it now. I mean, some of these ideas don't fly. The language that would be Afgha. Now we have Afgha. It's got to be. We have to teach them about syllables and give them all a vowel movement. Well, I think that's already being done with the removal of a couple of a B in front of a V. No, we have a different kind of a society now because we're a mixture. The woman is a host of Jeopardy. The star of Jeopardy ought to be Governor Cuomo. Well, the governor of this place, we don't usually talk politics here, but it's got so much humor in it and so much ridiculousness. The governor of Florida, now I finally figured out the reason why he is so favorable on taking care of people the way he has all this time with opening up so soon. That's why we have the highest rate of people dying from COVID. It's because everybody's been so free and so open in this state. And now he doesn't even want the kids in school to wear masks, and made a law out of it so that the schools who wear masks and people who do, the school superintendents who do follow that design are going to be subject to punishment. So this governor ought to wear a Lone Ranger mask and hide. I mean, if he goes in public, nobody's going to want to see him. But I'll tell you why he's doing it. I just figured it out. Because Disney is the biggest moneymaker in the state of Florida. And they were closed down. They have hundreds of thousands of people working for them. Plus, they own the network, ABC. They got all the motion pictures out of Hollywood. They've got the library. They've got the cruises, the Disney on Ice, the fantasy shows. All that was shut down. So they had a year and a half of no money, and now they're coming back with a vengeance. I noticed all the advertising. They got Princess Month now. They've allowed a worldwide Princess Month. It's all the former princesses who are in the Disney camp. And they have a black princess now. They came up with a new one out of New Orleans. They've got a new animated black princess. These guys are big on inclusion. and yet they missed the boat on. Do they own ABC? Own Jeopardy? I don't think so. I think that was independent. That's probably owned by CBS Viacom because it was King World. But if Disney owned it, they would have put LeVar Burton in there because he's black and he's social networking and trying to get the job. But they got a woman in there anyway. So they're moving along with that because the executive producer of Jeopardy, who took over the show, is actually very good. But he had a sexual thing. He made comments about women and inappropriate comments about Jews, and that was on his podcast. So they found fault with him. I'll tell you can't get it right. I'm so happy I'm not that important because everybody would look into my past, which is very wicked. I don't want you to know. We're only as sick as our secrets, and everybody's got one. I mean, it's like everyone has one. It's like your belly button. There is something that you don't want everybody else to know, or you don't feel like facing it, or you don't want to work through it, or you don't want anybody to pull you down because of it. And the sexual stuff has gotten to be the big reason that has ruined all of these corporate executives mostly, and people in charge. When the fact of the matter is, even like the governor of New York, all he did was, well, when I say all he did, I don't want to minimize anybody's bad behavior, but I'm just saying that he hit on women. Well, I guess you never been to a bar. What do you think we do? That's what we do. But you're not supposed to touch. Don't touch them. Once you put your hand on somebody, that means that you've attempted to violate their space. Now, even the Japanese, they're always good. They wear the mask. I've talked about that before. And they also have a distance situation. Japanese are not in your face. I don't think they even have Facebook over there. They have this separation. You have to leave enough room to bow, just like I did when I first got married. You have to start bowing. Later on, you get on your knees. That's and beg forgiveness, and then after that, you better hope you have a good lawyer. See, we didn't have a lawyer with our divorce. We just paid each other. I thought that was cool. We said, hey, what are we going to give it to this guy for? I don't even know him. And I told her, I said, why don't we just take the money that we have left? You take half, I'll take half, and go home. And then everybody can forget about it. So now I'm living with my ex-wife. I'm living off of her share. So I feel I'm ahead. I'm winning the game because I got something that I wasn't counting on and wasn't deserving, which was her half of the stuff that we had. She was a golfer, and she had a hole-in-one. I did too. But it's tough when you have these kinds of relationships and you have a lot of friends, and then when you get divorced, they don't know who to choose, and you have a separation of everything. So the country's so separated now, I think you wouldn't even notice a divorce separation because everybody's going their own way anyway. The first thing out of your mouth in divorce court is, are you vaccinated? I was vaccinated. I got that clap. Is that what it was? No, I had it so many times I had applause. No, I did. And I went back to the same girl and got another shot. Can you imagine? Well, some people require 2 shots. And it's difficult to deal with penicillin, which they find is the bacteria on stale bread that turns into mold. And that's where they get it. I just go directly to the bad bread. I go to the day-old bread aisle at Publix Market and wait for it to turn nice and purple. And then I have that, and I don't have to go to the pharmacy. That doesn't work. Don't do that. Don't try this at home. It's not a good trick. So we got a situation where we're trying to make a recovery, and they put this big concert in the park with Clive Davis, who was the clown of the circus instead of the ringmaster, and he got all these people that got a start on the record hit list with him. So he forced them into performing on Saturday in the rain, but they knew it was going to rain. They didn't know that it was going to be a hurricane warning or lightning. And now they want to do this thing again, according to this Gotham magazine in New York, which is a Tell It Like It Is magazine. That won't be around too long. I try to tell it like it is, but I have a conservative audience. Not that you are conservative, is that you're small. If you have a small audience, you can get away with it for a while. But as soon as you get to be up on top, boy, I'll tell you, they can't wait to drag you down. That's America. You know, they put you on top, they make you a hero, and then we find a way to get you off the throne because we don't want a king. That's the way it goes. We've been doing this forever. And I see now where there's movie stars that are way, way off. Now, Spider-Man, the latest Spider-Man movie. I mean, if you haven't thought enough about a sequel, they got Spider-Man making a deal with the devil. That's the latest film. They're already promoting it. Well, it's Disney. There you go again. See, you know, I mean, they got the money. They got the muscle. When you have that muscle and you got that corporate caca going, you know, and you can promote anything. If I were on a Disney Channel right now, first of all, I wouldn't be on one because they would never hire a guy that talks the way I do. I mean, can you imagine me on ABC with David Muir? You imagine all the newscasts. I love when they send out the story. You know, they say David, and then and then one doctor that's on there, he says, "Thank you for having me on." Well, no shit. I mean, what do you mean, thank me for? Of course you're on. That's what you're here for, you idiot. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, well, thank you for taking this check, which we're paying you on for having you on. But they thank David, that David Muir, you know, on that newscast. Everybody says, David, thank you, David, thank you, David. They're like kiss his ring, you know, this guy. It's late news, David. It's David TV. We had Ed TV for a while. Remember what that was? Or Max Headroom. That was a generated animated leader. That's what we need for this country. Then they can't say you got dementia, unless the person who's doing the voice has dementia. There's always someone behind the curtain. This is the Wizard of Oz. Keep looking for the person who's got the controls behind the curtain. Usually it's someone with a lot of power and money. And now you know why I have a hard time getting on the air, because I talk this way. Can you imagine anybody talking this way on 60 Minutes instead of trying to find a way to cover hurricanes in Iceland? Or come on. I have a different kind of a delivery. You know, mine is all Andy Rooney all the time. I liked him. He was quirky. And like me, I'm an observationist, right? I'm also a pain in the ass. I've had that for a long time. All right, so that's about it. There's not a lot to talk about today except my wound. I fell trying to serve the public. You know, I was in the closet. And, you know, that's why you don't want to come out. It's a Reynolds wrap.